Okay, great. On to Mayor and City Council comments. We each have about 7 seconds. Does anyone have something burning to say? Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes, I'm sorry. I do have something burning to say since I was attacked personally by 4 people.
Let's go ahead and I move that we extend the meeting
Just a
past
couple
11.
minutes.
All right. Anybody opposed? We got consensus. We're good. All right. Sorry, Bonnie.
All right. So given that all the people who attacked me have already left long ago and nobody's watching, but I'm going to have my little say here. So I've been accused of being a spoiled child who always wants to get her way. I can assure you that nobody in my family ever got their way. And of somehow bullying and threatening the mayor. I would not bully or threaten the mayor, nor could I, because
Nobody bullies the
I
mayor.
know.
Nobody bullies
bullies anybody
right?
here. It's just stupid. I've been accused of betraying the Constitution and not believing in the Constitution, et cetera, et cetera. I am well aware of the Second Amendment. I have read it aloud to people numerous times. I have it memorized. It is 1 sentence long. If the founders of this country had meant it to mean the right to bear individual arms, the right to have individual guns, they would have said that. It was created at a time when the United States had no standing army. It was mostly just states. The point was that was a well-regulated militia being essential to the freedom of a state. The right to keep and bear firearms shall not be infringed. That was always, until the Heller decision of 2008, understood as a collective right to defend the country, not against the government of the United States, but against anyone from outside the United States assailing the United States, such as the British. So it was only in 2008, after hundreds of years, that the Supreme Court chose by a 5-4 decision to make that an individual right separating it from half the sentence. In other words, ignoring half of the Second Amendment while granting individual rights to have guns to people. The weapons that people had during the Revolutionary War, which, by the way, my ancestor Samuel Allen fought in the Battle of Trenton, so I think we should pay attention to what we are actually talking about. They had muskets, which took quite a long time to run. They had bayonets, they had long rifles, they had swords, short knives, axes, and tomahawks. Those were the arms they had in addition to cannons. So what we're talking about is an entirely different thing. We're talking about a group of people, many of them from outside of Longmont, coming into town, and the person who put forth this resolution, Jerry, came to that meeting that was arranged by Dr. Waters, and I respect that. He and also the guy from Grandpa's Ponds came and talked, and we had a very good conversation. We may not agree, but they had the guts to show up and talk, and that is what's useful, is talking. This proclamation would have undermined that. It would also undermine Constitution and Citizenship Day. That is the correct name of the day that this proclamation sought to kind of hijack. That is for people like my father, who chose this country and became a citizen and worked very, very hard. And my dad was a hunter. He owned bunches of guns. He taught me to shoot when I was 4. He installed a rifle range under our house, which was not popular with my mother since it was under her kitchen. But he was an immigrant, and he was a very patriotic man. We walked the same path that the people in the Revolutionary walked down to Trenton. because he wanted me to know what people had done to fight for this country. I am not somebody who's anti-gun. I am not somebody who's anti-Second Amendment. I just want us to be honest about what we're doing. And when you attack somebody, you should actually, you know, understand the truth about what you're supposedly fighting for. If you're fighting for gun rights, then say that. Don't claim that you have a safety proclamation when you don't even mention the fact that 80% of gun deaths are suicides. Then you're not addressing the issue of gun safety at all. And the 4 things that the NRA put forth that were in that proclamation are really, my dad taught me better than that when I was 4 years old. So that's why I said it was deceitful, because I don't know if it was intentionally deceitful, but if you don't call it gun safety when you don't even mention suicide. So lock your guns. Take care.